Hi there. Today, the word of the day is impeachment inquiry. Can you say impeachment inquiry? I knew you could. I need to put on my slippers, so play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, me, Marty, aka Dawg Knight on the Dawg Knight channel. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the word has been breached by Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. She is calling for impeachment inquiry, because that's what the squad wants, and that's what the loudest voices in the Democratic Party want. They want impeachment inquiry. And so that's the news you're going to be hearing about all this week, and everyone's talking about impeachment inquiry. And so there we go. So today we're going to be talking about impeachment inquiry. And so there you go. Hey, good morning. I'm going to say good morning, everybody, right away. Good morning, Sheograph. Sheograph has been first almost all the last 4 or 5 streams, but that gets you the bell, man. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, Truck and Bear, Max Del Rio, Ramen Noodle 78, Enzabar, I said it right, Enzaker, Tyler F, Functional MC, Hammer Time, Irish Rose, Necrosol, and the gayest person on YouTube. Hey, we're just starting out hot today and functional. So hey, good thing. Point of personal privilege. Functional says, I want an impeachment inquiry. So there you go. And good morning, Maddie. Wow, everyone's rolling in. I love it. Good. Hi, everybody. So we're here on our normal daily show. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Oh, you know what? Let me get the shill out of the way right now. In fact, Maddie, as somebody who does the moderating thing, you can put this in the chat. But the show's brought to you by you. Since you're already here, if you like what we do, hit the like button. You don't have to like it right now. I'll remind you at the end of the show. And if you like what you did, great. You can hit the like. And if not, you can hit the dislike. In fact, I got a couple dislikes yesterday. I think a couple people were mad at me about the whole, Greta Thunberg thing and the climate change and the panic, the hysteria over climate change, which I think is overblown. Yes, climate change so it's changing. Yeah, well, like I said, it's been changing ever since the Ice Age. But a couple people got mad at me yesterday, and I had someone on here yesterday that normally isn't on the show, and I thought they were very fair, and but just obviously disagreed with me. I'm pretty sure that's one of them. I think someone came in to dislike it just because I had mentioned Greta, who let me just clarify something about the whole Greta thing as far as I'm concerned. I don't have a problem with Greta herself. I have a problem with the people surrounding her. I have a problem with the people promoting her. I think she's being used, and as someone who's experienced in being used in a similar way when I was a child, and then later in life realizing, they were kind of just using me because I was a child. Hey, so whatever, it's all good. Dawg Knight and all of his content is made possible by you, the subscriber and viewer. Don't forget to, like, share. You can support Streamlabs, link down below. All that stuff's going on. And if you ever need to send me stuff, right here, it says my Twitter, my Minds, and my Gab handle are all at PDawgKnight. Or if you want to email me, pdawgknight@gmail.com. And I have an Instagram at YesThatMarty. So let's get a little bit into this whole impeachment thing, because inquiry. So we've been yesterday. If you read the news, and all the headlines were about impeachment, and because Nancy Pelosi's just finally decided that she's going to formally join in on the impeachment inquiry, because her whole thing. So here's the deal. Let's start here, and we'll start with this legal insurrection. I'm gonna go right into the articles today, because I've got there's gonna be a whole bunch of other stuff. Hopefully I'll get to more today. I got a weird glare on my screen. It's hard to see the super chats. I'm gonna move this. Hang on, let me move my screen, and that's gonna mess up my camera. And there's that, and there's that, and that should work. Okay, that's kind of better. All right, it'll work. Now I can see both screens. All right, here we go. First, Nancy Pelosi has caved and has announced official impeachment inquiry into Trump. This is from Legal Insurrection. They may come back to bite them tomorrow after Trump releases the transcript of his call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, here it is. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi caved to the Democratic caucus. She announced the House will begin an official impeachment inquiry into President Trump. Now, this is fascinating, because there's been impeachment inquiry going on already, because that's what Jerry Nadler's doing in the Judicial Committee, and that's what Adam Schiff is wanting to do over in the what's his committee? The Oversight Committee. Yes, right? Oversight. But now Nancy Pelosi's on board with the impeachment inquiry. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, California, announced the formalization of an impeachment inquiry into President Trump Tuesday evening, saying, quote, "The president must be held accountable for his betrayal of those in office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections." Invoking the darkest days of the American Revolution, Pelosi called on lawmakers to honor their constitutional oath to protect the country from enemies, and foreign and domestic. Pelosi specifically charged that the White House had violated the law by not turning over a whistleblower complaint concerning Trump's July call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump allegedly pushed Zelensky to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. The president vowed Tuesday to release a transcript of his call with Zelensky. This week, the president admitted asking the president of Ukraine to take actions which would benefit him politically, Pelosi said. Therefore, today I am announcing that the House of Representatives is moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry and directing our 6 communities to proceed with their investigations under that umbrella. The president must be held accountable, she continued. No one is above the law. Trump responded, This might blow up in their faces. This might blow up in their face because President Donald Trump said he authorized his administration to release the complete, fully declassified, unredacted transcript of my phone call conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine. So that's fancy. That's fascinating. Fascinating. Now, apparently, what the hell's going on here? Why isn't this not being embedded? All right, the embedded tweets are gone for some reason. Let's see if I can fix that real quick. There should be a setting here where I can... settings. Let me fix this real quick. Oh, I guess apparently... Yeah, it's not letting me do it. All right. Well, anyway, the embedded tweets are not working again. and I don't have ad blocker doing it. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but there's a bunch of whole tweets. There's reactions all over the place. Yeah. So anyway, so now it's an official impeachment inquiry. But people all over Twitter seem to be excited that, oh, they're finally impeaching President Trump. Oh, silly, silly people. That's not how it works, okay? They're not having a vote. They're just going to be asking the same old questions. And the funny thing is they're doing it. This thing with Joe Biden has been the catalyst for it because a whistleblower who didn't actually hear the conversation or has seen a transcript of the conversation says something about the conversation. And that's where we get into our next article. Bombshell. This is the other one. Anyway, well, this is good too. The Intel Inspector General found whistleblower had bias in favor of rival candidate of Trump, according to a report. Imagine that. Oh, here's the president's tweet. Maddie, thank you. Let's see. Let's open that in a new tab. Let's see what this says. Here's what the president's tweet says. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate it. I am currently at the United Nations representing our country, but have authorized the release tomorrow of the complete, fully declassified, unredacted transcript of my phone conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine. You will see it was a very friendly and a totally appropriate phone call. No pressure and, unlike Joe Biden and his son, no quid pro quo. This is nothing more than a continuation of the greatest and most destructive witch hunt of all time. And now Ed Gu, who's one of those anti-Trump people who gets a lot of attention on the internet. He's some doctor of something. He's a medical doctor, a surgeon scientist trying to save lives of babies. He's a great physician, but he loves to torment the president. Release the entirety of the whistleblower report so that we know the transcript you are releasing involves the whistleblower complaint. Well, here's the funny thing. The whistleblower never heard the conversation, nor has the whistleblower seen a transcript of the conversation. The whistleblower got the information third hand. And so anyway, let's get back to this other article. Bombshell. Okay, this whistleblower apparently was not a fan of the president, probably an old Obama appointee, or someone who's been in the intelligence community since long before Trump, obviously. The Trump administration announced on Tuesday that it is releasing an Inspector General report on the whistleblower complaint that is at the center. Oh, they are going to release the report. That is at the center of Democrats' push to impeach the president, which reportedly found that the whistleblower had a bias in favor of one of Trump's political rivals. I wonder which one. Okay, fine. A senior Trump administration official told Fox News late Tuesday that the administration will release a document showing the Intelligence Community Inspector General found the whistleblower who leveled an explosive accusation against President Trump concerning his talks with Ukraine had political bias in favor of a rival candidate of the president, Fox News reported. The official did not identify the name of the rival candidate. Separately, a senior administration official told Fox News the White House has been working quickly as it can to release to Congress the whistleblower complaint involving President Trump's conversation with the leader of Ukraine as long as it's legally possible. Okay. The development comes hours after Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced that Democrats were launching a formal impeachment inquiry into the president over a phone call that he had with Ukraine. Now, I'm just curious. So Nancy Pelosi decides to finally go along with this because of this whole little situation with the thing with Biden and Ukraine and all that. And the funny thing is, a lot of the news stations, the walls are closing in people. You know, those people are all saying, well, there's no way that Joe Biden did anything wrong, and there was never a quid pro quo with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. This is all conspiracy theory that's been debunked. Problem is, there's video of Biden doing exactly what the president is talking about. We talked about this yesterday. There's video. Joe Biden bragging to the Council of Foreign Relations that he told the then Ukrainian president, we're not giving you no money. We're not giving you this money until you fire this one specific prosecutor. And the president said, well, you don't have that authority. He said, call the president, call our president. We're leaving in 6 hours, and you know what? We're leaving in 6 hours. And if it's not done, you're not getting the money. And within that 6 hours, I got a phone call, and the prosecutor was fired. Now, it just happened to be the one prosecutor who was prosecuting the company that Hunter Biden worked for and made $50,000 a month from. He bragged about it. Now so here's the thing. This certainly might hurt Trump in the very short term because the word impeachment. But you know what? The Democrats have been saying impeachment since before Trump was inaugurated, right? So Nancy Pelosi is authorizing an impeachment inquiry. And so so they're going to try to impeach the president for an offense later to be determined. And you know what? Remember that thing? What's my rule? What's my rule with any news? My rule with any news that comes out that seems to be a bombshell. Wait, how many? 3 to 5 days, right? Right? And in Nancy Pelosi's case, maybe 3 to 5 business days would have been appropriate, but Nancy Pelosi didn't follow the 3 to 5 day rule. The Dawg Knight, in fact, I might have to patent this. I might have to get a t-shirt, 3 to 5 day rule. And just wear a t-shirt. The 3 to 5 day rule. I have a couple ideas for t-shirts, by the way. Because 2020, I think the whole year of 2020 is going to be the word, oh, for fuck's sake. So I'm going to put FFS 2020. That'd be a good shirt too. But no, 3 to 5 day rule is very important. Very important. So, in response to the Democrats' push for impeachment, the administration announced that it would release the full unredacted transcript of the phone call, the whistleblower complaint, the inspector general report on the whistleblower complaint, and it would allow the whistleblower to testify before Congress. Oh my God, is this going to completely blow up in their face? Or is there something there? We report, you decide. The White House is preparing to release to Congress by the end of the week both the whistleblower complaint and the Inspector General report that are at the center of the House Democrats' impeachment inquiry, Politico reported. The move shows the level of seriousness with which the administration is now approaching the House's new impeachment proceedings. No, I think it shows that the White House don't give a fuck. That's what I think it shows. There's a press conference in the House. Interesting. Let's see if that's live. I'm gonna let me You don't have to watch me make sausage here, but here, let's see if is it happened to me on YouTube. No, not Jeffree Star. It doesn't look like it. No one I'm following has it here, but that's okay. Yeah. Wow. So they're gonna release everything. Go back to the article here. The Washington Times reported that the administration reportedly has dropped its objection to congressional Democrats getting testimony from the whistleblower whose leak started the Ukraine phone call issue. The Federalist reported that the attorney for the whistleblower has previously worked for Democratic New York Senators Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer. I'm sorry. This is the first time I've read the article, and I find that fucking hilarious. Oh my God. So they couldn't find any other attorney for this whistleblower? That they couldn't you oh my God, you can't write this. And I've had it kind of I've had this thing where I'm kind of questioning, whether Trump really could win in 2020. I don't know why. I think there's a lot of mad people out there who just are blowing steam out of their nose like a bull in a cartoon. But I don't think. I think when people who are actually independent and look at this, because I look at this from a really partisan lens, and I'm like, well, yeah, I think Trump could win because everyone I talk to likes Trump, and not everyone, but you know what I mean. But then I think, well, gosh, there's a lot of people out there who just hate Trump, and all the people in the streets for climate, strikes and all this other shit. But then I think about, what does somebody who is actually somewhat independent, or at least kind of in the middle on the fence, could vote either way, what are they thinking when they see this inquiry and this, it's all about this whistleblower and some thing to Ukraine, okay? And the news comes out, they say, oh, well, yeah, the Democrats' line is that the president is asking for help from a foreign leader against one of his political rivals, which is bullshit. But that was Hillary Clinton's line the other day. He's trying to get help from a foreign power in another election. What they're trying to do is delegitimize 2020 should they lose, which seems to be they're going to lose. Okay, Trump's going to win in 2020, because right now although here's the other thing that could happen, which would be rich. The other thing that could happen is right now Biden. This is going to hurt Biden more than anybody. Biden's going to end up having to drop out because it's clear because they could pretend that none of this happened with his son working for that company, that the prosecutor they got fired. They can pretend that didn't happen, but then you have Biden on videotape bragging about it. He was bragging about it. It was, in fact, here, let's do this. I'm going to go into, let's go into my bookmarks. I've got it bookmarked here. Here's now this is only a part of it, but if you listen to this.
We're not going to give you the $1 billion.
Hang on, here we go. Oh.
They said, you have no authority.
Okay. Is that, what's going on here? Oh. Hang on. Let's escape. Let's do it this way.
Press conference said, no, I said, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Press conference said, no, I said.
Yeah, so you're not getting the $1 billion. And if he's not fired, you're not getting the money. If this prosecutor's not fired. What prosecutor was that? Oh, yeah, the prosecutor prosecuting the company that Hunter Biden worked for. $50,000 a month he was making from this company. And then they also have information on him with some deals with China. That's Joe Biden went to China. They would travel to China together, but he's the vice president of the United States at the time. When people who are not partisans see it, because obviously the people on the right see that and they're like, see, Joe Biden's corrupt. And the people on the left are saying, no, Joe didn't do it. They're acting like it didn't happen. I literally see news people saying it didn't happen. I wonder if I bookmarked that one too. That's a hilarious one. Did I save that? No, I did not. There's people saying it didn't happen. Are you kidding me? They were, and the people, they were laughing about it. By the way, thank you, Shiagrath, and Necrosoft for tweeting out the show. Anyone else out there, if you want to retweet the show that I put out there, did I put, wait a minute. Oh, Necrosoft did it himself. Thank you, Necrosoft, for doing it yourself. And then Shiagrath also retweeted, which if you want to retweet it, hey, I can help you there. Here, let's do this. Ding. There's the show in the chat. You can right click it and retweet it on your own Twitter if you'd like. That I'd appreciate that, people. Mr. Biden, are you serious? And all the Democrats, this is going to blow up for Joe Biden. This is his Tulsi Gabbard Kamala Harris moment. Remember, Tulsi destroyed Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris hasn't recovered from that at all. So now this is good. I don't know how this couldn't destroy Joe Biden, especially now that they're releasing the transcripts, they're releasing everything. This issue is all due to this whistleblower. But now the question becomes, okay, what was Trump actually talking about to Zelensky? Oh, so something did happen with Joe Biden, and we have it on tape, and Joe bragging about it. Joe's done. At least I would think so. He's not Teflon like Obama or Trump or anything like that. It's going to stick to Joe because he's bragging about it. So I don't know, but and the other part is now that they have this, and Nancy Pelosi can't go back on this inquiry either. It just makes her look like an idiot if she does. So she is stuck. The House Democrats are stuck. But you know what? The funny thing is too. Now the reason I was joking about the impeachment inquiry is because nothing's changed. This changes nothing other than Nancy Pelosi said the word impeachment and official and flowery words, but they're already doing it. The two main committees that are doing the inquiry are already doing it. Jerry Nadler's already having hearings with people and trying to get people to talk about shit that was already investigated by Mueller and everything like that. And they thought, oh, this is their big gotcha now. Holy crap. So yeah, it's but here's the other thing. There is a reason why the Democrats are doing this. And I think it's important to know that there's a reason why they're doing this. And I found this is an interesting article that kind of mirrors what I'm thinking on this. So here we go. The disturbing reason why the Democrats really want to impeach Trump. And they want to impeach even if it means losing 2020. If. This is from Dan Greenfield. Two rabid dogs fighting over the same rotten bone. The Democrats are in the middle of a civil war over impeachment. The Democrats' leadership wants to defeat President Trump by winning an election. But the left is hardcore, will settle for nothing less than impeachment, even if it means 4 more years, because they're not going to look. So you have to have a vote in the House, which is a simple majority for impeachment, right? And that means it goes to the Senate for an actual trial. Impeachment just means that the House sends that recommendation to the Senate to have a trial to remove the President of the United States. The trial within the United States Senate, which is presided by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, actually works as a trial, and the Senate is the jury. And so then the people who say he should be impeached have their lawyers and their people going in there and telling you why the evidence that they should have impeached, and then the president has his own lawyers who come in there and have, make their case of why he should not be impeached, and then the Senate votes on it. But unlike the recommendation or the impeachment, which is what the House part of it is, the trial for removal of the president requires a 2/3 vote in the Senate. And then if the 2/3 votes works, and if this is how it works, if the 2/3 vote says yes, we need to remove the president, then the vice president of the United States, the president is removed, and the vice president of the United States is immediately sworn in. The chances of them getting a 2/3 vote when the House is almost, 56% Republican, ain't happening. They all know that. And so really the American people, that's why the American people don't even want to do it. I'm assuming, sure there's a lot of rabid left-sided Democrats that want it done, but it ain't going to happen. And now you're going to spend the whole election season doing this. And the bigger part is the independents, the people who aren't Republicans and Democrats, overwhelmingly do not want impeachment. And so it would become just a big sham and a waste of time. Although what it does do, you have a transcript of the call. Is it out? Transcript out? Are you serious? Let's see here. You got a link there, Maddie, my friend? Am I stealing your thunder? Because I know you were going to talk about it today too. If you have links, put it in the chat or somewhere, or send it to me, or however you do that. And you can tweet it to me, direct, what it's a DM, direct message, whatever. Anyway, let's go back into this article. Speaker Pelosi opposes impeachment because she's seen the numbers. Impeachment polls badly with independents, which would increase turnout among Republicans, and doesn't even score well with Democrats. The impeachment session has led to the perception among a majority of voters that the House is focused on going after President Trump to the exclusion of all else. Oh, really? I hadn't noticed. What else has the House done? All right, thank you. I'm gonna put that link here. We're gonna check that out right away. We have breaking news, people. The transcript of the call. Unlike the average Act Blue donor and San Francisco billionaire, the average voter doesn't actually want his elected officials spending all their time holding 300 hearings about Trump every week. Ain't that the damn truth? So why the unpopular impeachment push that can't succeed because of the composition of the Senate? Voters don't like impeachment because they want to be the ones to remove politicians from office. Pelosi is asking the left to let the voters do just that in 2020. But for the left, that's exactly the point. Impeachment isn't about punishing whatever imaginary crime involving whatever country was hit by a dart thrown at the World Atlas this week in the offices of the New York Times and the Washington Post. The same media operatives who claimed that President Trump was a Russian spy are now insisting that he's working with the Ukrainians, whose country was invaded and partially annexed by Russia. By next month, Trump may be accused secretly of colluding with the Netherlands, Burundi, or Australia. That's funny. The purpose of random treason accusation number 17 has always been justifying the use of surveillance, espionage, and secret evidence against political opposition, which happened in the 2016 election. They're trying to justify all the bullshit they did with Trump. And I'm sorry, I don't care if you're left or right. If you're really thinking about this, their little surveillance thing that they put together to be able to spy on his campaign. If you don't believe it, you're going to believe it when all this evidence is coming out, as it has begun to come out. Because you didn't want to be, I know you want to be like this, got your blinders on and don't want to see it because you know that orange man is truly bad. But that whole Russian thing, oh man, I'm hoping that the new FBI director and, the Attorney General even, I hope they have the nougats to actually follow through with stamping out that little bit of corruption. Anyway, the Russian election hacking accusation and the current Ukraine smear have a common purpose of delegitimizing an election. The Russian lie was about delegitimizing 2016. The Ukraine lie is a preemptive effort to delegitimize the 2020 election in case Biden is the nominee and Trump is the winner. And again, that's why some people won't let go of the Russian thing. They're saying, oh yeah, Russians already trying to interfere in the 2020 election. You hear that over and over because if Trump wins, then they have their justification and say, nope, the Russians did it again or somebody did it again. Impeachment plugs in the same narrative, which is not just about winning, but delegitimizing. The Democrats want to win elections. Radicals want to delegitimize the entire idea of elections. Pelosi wants to win an election. The radicals don't want to win elections. They want to destroy them. Their real goal is to use blind hatred of Republicans to convince Democrats that elections are inherently illegitimate. Yeah, they want to get rid of the Electoral College because they want it to be, they want popular election. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. The election isn't a popular vote. Okay? It's every state gets their vote. Okay? And so every state in the country gets their vote. Now, some are weighted because of population, but it doesn't mean that the other states don't get any power whatsoever. So, in 2016, President Trump won California by 4.8 million votes? But he lost the rest of the country combined by 1.8 million votes. So if there were no California, so we're supposed to every other state in the union who also needs to have some kind of representation in the White House, it has to abide by what California did. That's that popular vote they keep talking about. They won by 3 million. That Hillary Clinton won by 3 million votes. Yeah, all from one state. Otherwise, she lost by 1.8 million votes. Anyway, let's see. How much longer is this? I'm not going to read the rest of this. You get the idea. They want to delegitimize the next election, like they've been trying to delegitimize the last election, so all the talk about the popular vote and all the talk about the Russians stole the election. No, they didn't. They still can't tell you. They cannot tell you. They cannot quantify the impact of those supposed Facebook ads that were supposedly supporting Trump. Remember Buff Bernie coloring book and Jesus versus the devil and oh my gosh. I still haven't done that video. I want to go back and look at all those ads again. They were hilarious. I'm like, wait a minute. They thought, first of all, if those ads worked and actually changed the results of the elections on about, $40,000? I can't remember how many. It was a ridiculously low amount of money spent on these Facebook ads that supposedly swayed the election. If they are that good at targeting elections or whatever, or voters and things like that, I'm hiring the Russians as a campaign manager, and I'm going to run for president because I'm just telling you, if they're that good, because Hillary Clinton spent what 1.4 billion with a B, 1.4 billion dollars on her campaign, plus probably had another 3-4 billion, excuse me, of of help from everybody else. All the freaking the PAC ads that they hate, they paid super PACs unless they're Democrat super PACs. She spent twice as much. Her campaign spent twice as much as the Trump campaign. But you know what Trump did that was different? He really campaigned. He went out, had rallies everywhere. And especially in those states that Hillary forgot existed, known as Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, where Hillary kind of didn't, she had that in the bag, so she didn't need a campaign there. She needed to rest anyway. All right, so now let's do this. Thank you, Maddie, again. Maddie sent me, let's see here, the Trump-Zelensky transcript. President Donald Trump on Wednesday released the full transcript of his phone call with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. So this is the transcript. This is breaking news done this morning. Participants, President Zelensky of Ukraine. Oh, here, I'll put it on the screen. Sorry. Wait, exclusive 30 days. What? Oh, this is, you have to subscribe to this? Let me see this a second. Hang on a second. Read free for 30 days. Wait, exclusive 30-day drive to the largest digital library. Access to download. Do I need, let me see what happens when I hit this button. Well, we're going to try this. It's 5 pages long. Okay, here we go. So let's go through this. Let's see what the president and Mr. Zelensky talked about. Now, this is breaking news. This may take up the rest of the show. It's only 5 pages, though. Let's see what we got here. Participants. President Zelensky of Ukraine. Note takers. The White House Situation Room. July 25th, 2019. 9:03 to 9:33 a.m. President, congratulations on a great victory. We all watched from the United States as you did a terrific job. The way you came from behind, somebody who hasn't given much of a chance, you ended up winning easily. It's a fantastic achievement. Congratulations. Now, here's interesting here. I don't know if you know much about Zelensky. Zelensky is he's a comedian, literally a comedian. That was his profession, and TV personality. A pretty popular guy in Ukraine. I've seen some clips of some shows. Just, I don't know why I've seen these, but I have. He's a pretty funny guy, even though I don't understand the language. But they did like sketch comedy, and then he's also a comedian. So he thought that the government that was in leading Ukraine was corrupt. So he ran for president, and he won. Kind of like. Kind of like our own president. Anyway, Zelensky says, you're absolutely right, Mr. President. We did win big and we worked hard for this. We worked a lot. But I'd like to confess to you that I had an opportunity to learn from you. Oh. We used quite a few of your skills and knowledge, and we were able to use it as an example for our elections. And yes, it is true that these were unique elections. We were in a unique situation that we were able to... Oh. Wait a minute. What? This is not a verbatim transcript of the discussion? Okay, I don't know. Let's see. We were able to achieve a unique success. I'm able to tell you the following. The first time you called me to congratulate me when I won my presidential election. The second time, you are now calling me when my party won the parliamentary election. I think I should run more often so you can call me more often and we can talk over the phone more often. Okay. The president laughs. That's a very good idea. I think your country is very happy about that. Well, yes, to tell you the truth, we are trying to work hard because we wanted to drain the swamp here in our country. We brought in many new people, not the old politicians, not the typical politicians, because we want to have a new format, a new type of government. You're a great teacher for us in that. So Zelensky seems to like President Trump. Hello, Mike Savage. Check your logic. Evil One. And I think those are the people that are. And Lindsay, hi, good morning. I don't think I said hi to you yet either. So good morning. I just noticed some more people in here. All right, so let's see. Let's get into. Okay, so they get to talking about. Okay, well, okay. So this is the president. Well, it's very nice of you to say that. I will say that we don't do a lot for Ukraine. We spend a lot of effort and a lot of time, or we do a lot for Ukraine. We spend a lot of effort and a lot of time, much more than the European countries are doing, and they should be helping you more than they are. Germany does almost nothing for you. All they do is talk, and I think it's something you should really ask them about. When I was speaking to Angela Merkel, she talks Ukraine, but she doesn't do anything. A lot of the European countries are the same way. So I think something you want to look at. It's something you want to look at, but the United States has been very good to Ukraine. I wouldn't say it's reciprocal necessarily because things are happening that are not good, but the United States has been very, very good to Ukraine. Zelensky, yes, you're absolutely right. Let's see. Okay, he agrees about the Merkel thing. Okay, so down here, much of the European Union, especially when we were talking. Okay, oh, I see. Oh, he's grateful to the United States because the United States does quite a lot for Ukraine, but much more than the European Union, especially when we are talking about sanctions against the Russian Federation. Okay, and they're ready to cooperate for the next step. Specifically, we are almost ready to buy more javelins from the United States for defensive purposes because that's a big thing they're trying to sell to protect from Russian interference, so Russia doesn't try to annex them again. The president, I would like you to do us a favor, though, because our country has been through a lot and Ukraine knows a lot about it. I would like you to find out what happened with this whole situation with Ukraine. They say CrowdStrike. Oh no, CrowdStrike's the company that says that the Russians hacked the DNC. I guess you have one of your wealthy people, the server, they say Ukraine has it. There are a lot of things that went on, the whole situation. I think you're surrounding yourself with some of the same people. I would like to have because here's the thing, CrowdStrike, the CrowdStrike supposedly also is the company that they said something about the Ukrainians and between the Ukrainians and Russians, and then they found out it was wrong. Okay, so I got to brush up on exactly what that was. Something about and CrowdStrike is the same company that said that the Russians hacked the DNC, but they ate crow on what they said about Ukraine, and so on and so forth. So anyway, I think you're surrounding yourself with some of the same people. I'd like to have the Attorney General call you or your people, and I would like you to get to the bottom of it. As you saw yesterday, that whole nonsense ended with a very poor performance by a man named Robert Mueller. An incompetent performance, but they say a lot of it started with Ukraine. Whatever you can do, it's very important that you do it if that is possible. They did not want this transcript coming out. President Zelensky replies, yes, it's very important for me and everything that you just mentioned earlier. For me, as a president, it's very important that we are open for any future cooperation. We are ready to open a new page on cooperation and relations between the United States and Ukraine. For that purpose, I just recalled our ambassador from the United States, and he will be replaced by a very competent and very experienced ambassador who will work hard in making sure that our two nations are getting closer. I would also like and hope to see him having your trust and your confidence and have personal relations with you so we can cooperate even more. I will personally tell you that one of my assistants spoke with Mr. Giuliani just recently, and we are hoping very much that Mr. Giuliani will be able to travel to Ukraine, and we will meet once he comes to Ukraine. Now, people are going to jump all over that because Giuliani is not and a government official. He's not working for the government in any official capacity. So I know people are going to be jumping all over that crap. I just want to assure you once again that you have nobody but friends around us. I will make sure that I surround myself with the best and most experienced people. I also want to tell you that we are friends. We are great friends. And you, Mr. President, have friends in our country so we can continue our strategic partnership. I plan to surround myself with great people. And in addition to that investigation, I guarantee as President of Ukraine that all the investigations will be done openly and candidly. That I can assure you. Now, here you go. Here's the part that they're talking about. And this is the meat of the thing. President, good, because I heard you had a prosecutor who was very good and he was shut down. And that's really unfair. A lot of people are talking about that. The way they shut your very good prosecutor down, and you had some very bad people involved. Mr. Giuliani is a highly respected man. He was the mayor of New York City, a great mayor, and I would like him to call you. I will ask him to call you along with the Attorney General. Rudy very much knows what's happening and he is a very capable guy. Let's see. If you speak to him, that'd be great. The former ambassador from the United States, the woman was bad news, and that people she was dealing with in the Ukraine were bad news. So I just want to let you know that. The other thing, there's a lot of talk about Biden's son. That Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that. So whatever you can do with the Attorney General, that would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution. So if you could look into it, it sounds horrible to me. I wanted to, and then Zelensky says, I wanted to tell you about the prosecutor. First of all, I understand and I'm knowledgeable about the situation. Since we have won the absolute majority in our parliament, our next prosecutor general will be 100% my person, my candidate, who will be approved by the parliament and will start as a new prosecutor in September. He or she will look into the situation specifically to the company that you mentioned in this issue. The issue of the investigation of the case is actually the issue of making sure to restore the honesty. So we will take care of that and we'll work on the investigation of the case. On top of that, I would kindly ask you if you have any additional information that you can provide us. It would be very helpful for the investigation to make sure that we administer justice in our country with regard to the ambassador to the United States from Ukraine. As far as I recall, her name was Ivanovich. It was great that you were the first one who told me that she was a bad ambassador, because I agree with you 100%. Her attitude towards me was far from the best, as she admired the previous president and she was on his side. She would not accept me as the new president well enough. And then President Trump says, well, she's going to go through some things. So I'm not, look, I'm just going to scan a little through here because this is, all right. So he's saying, okay, so President Trump, well, she's going to go through some things, and I will have Mr. Giuliani give you a call, and I'm also going to have the Attorney General Brock call, and we will get to the bottom of it. I'm sure you will figure it out. I heard the prosecutor was treated very badly, and he was a fair prosecutor, so good luck with everything. Your economy is going to get better and better, I predict. You will have a lot of assets. It's a great country. I have many Ukrainian friends. They are incredible people. They spelled "their" wrong. Oh boy, oh boy. So Zelensky is saying he has friends in the United States. They're going to work in the investigation. Good. Well, thank you very much. I'd like to appreciate that. So yeah, now I'm looking at this, and there's nothing. Oh, that's the end of the conversation. So there's nothing about aid to Ukraine. There's nothing about. I mean, they mentioned something about wanting to buy Javelin missiles. Wow. So this guy, the whistleblower, who heard this third hand, really didn't hear much. Okay, didn't hear anything, but made some real assumptions. Boy, talk about I wish. Is there a way for me to save that? Okay, let's see if I can download it. If it'll let me download it. No, well, I'd have to sign up for some shit. I may try that later. But wow. Now, that's really, really different from what the Democrats are talking about in this this the Inspector General inquiry that they never got. Holy smokes! Let's see. I'm gonna see. Let's see. I bet. I wonder if Twitter blew up about this yet. Well, trending number one is Trump impeachment. Joe Scarborough has that here. Are we sure Trump knew who he's talking to on this call? Okay, that's the Daily Show. Holy smokes. Ukraine transcript is trending number 4 already. So we'll get into Twitter trends a little later. Didn't sound like Trump promised anything, did he? He just asked about some investigations. Wow. Now here's something funny. Let's get into this article real quick. Shocker. Joe Biden refuses to answer questions after backing impeachment. I wonder what they asked him about. Joe Biden refused to answer questions on Wednesday after calling on Congress to impeach President Donald Trump. The former vice president made the announcement shortly after House Democrats signaled they would begin an impeachment inquiry into Trump for urging Ukraine's government to probe Hunter Biden's business dealings. If President Trump refuses to comply with congressional requests, then he will leave Congress, in my view, no choice but to initiate impeachment, Biden said, before refusing to address questions from reporters. Oh, why aren't you asking questions, Joe? Why aren't you answering questions? That would be a tragedy, but a tragedy of his own making, according to Joe Biden. Well, I think there's a tragedy also happening for Joe Biden, and it is a tragedy of his own making. They got you on tape bragging. Alrighty then. Last week, the Wall Street Journal reported Trump asked Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to look into Hunter Biden's ties to Burisma Holdings. The younger Biden joined the natural gas company's board of directors in April 2014, where he was purportedly paid more than $83,000 a month. What's $83,000 a month? Let me get my calculator out here. 83,000 times 12, which is $996,000 a year just to be on the board. More troubling is the former vice president pressured the Ukrainian government in 2016 to fire its top prosecutor, Viktor Shokin, who was known to be investigating the energy giant. Given the appearance of conflicts of interest and the contradicting stories Joe and Hunter Biden have spun on the topic, Trump has defended his calls for Ukraine to investigate. Trump said on Saturday, "The conversation I had was largely congratulatory, with largely corruption, all of the corruption taking place, and largely the fact that we don't want our people like Vice President Biden and his son creating the corruption already in the Ukraine, and Ukraine has got a lot of problems." Okay, that's one of those Trumpisms where you read the whole sentence, but you really don't know what it means, but you kind of figure it out after you read it 6 times. Shortly before the vice president drew the line in the sand on impeachment, Trump announced he would release the unredacted transcript, which we just went through a little bit. Not completely, but almost. Of his call with Ukraine's newly elected president. The released documents, however, are only likely to draw more scrutiny to the unanswered questions about the reasoning for Hunter Biden's appointment to Burisma's board of directors. As evidenced by the former vice president's decision to avoid the press on Thursday, such answers are likely not forthcoming. Yeah, Biden is not going to want to talk about this. I'm just saying. All right, here's the thing. I'm done with this topic for today because I'm sure we're gonna find some more in Twitter trends. So I'm not even gonna read the rest of the articles I put out about that because we're gonna get the most up to date news on that. Just one more time, just remind you, you're the sponsors of the Morning Night Live. Share, like, Streamlabs down there for super chats, donations, and any questions you have for P-Dog. I don't know what questions you have for me, but someday you might ask me a question. I don't know. We'll come to that when it comes to that. Yeah. So it looks like MC, your question: what did Trump promise again? He didn't promise jack. He just asked some questions. What's up with this this prosecutor dude? You know how much did Hunter Biden make? $83,000 a month. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. As in the words of the amazing Lucas. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got. So Trump authorized the release of the truth. Democrats wrote. Oh. Now I forgot this one. Did you know that the Democrats wrote to Ukraine in May 2018 to investigate the president? Oh my God. Democrats wrote to the Ukrainian government in May 2018 urging it to continue investigations into President Donald Trump alleging collusion with Russia in the 2016 presidential campaign. Collusion later found not to exist. Ironically, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi declared Tuesday that the mere possibility that President Trump had asked Ukraine to continue an investigation of former Vice President Joe Biden, even without a quid pro quo, was enough to trigger an impeachment inquiry. Biden boasted in 2018 that he forced the Ukraine to remove its prosecutor for threatening to withhold $1 billion in U.S. aid, or by threatening to withhold $1 billion with a B dollars U.S. aid. He did not tell his audience at the Council of Foreign Relations that the prosecutor was looking into a firm on whose board his son Hunter Biden was serving. Yeah, it got almost no attention, but in May 2018, CNN reported that Senators Robert Menendez, Richard Durbin, and Patrick Leahy wrote a letter to Ukraine's Prosecutor General, Yuri Lutsenko, expressing concern at the closing of 4 investigations they said were critical to the Mueller probe. In the letter, they implied that their support for U.S. assistance to Ukraine was at stake. Whoa! They're threatening Ukrainian aid too! It just... Oh my gosh. It's like that thing where they say, everything they're accusing you of, they're probably doing. Oh my gosh. They were threatening aid to Ukraine, describing themselves as strong advocates for a robust and close relationship with Ukraine. The Democratic senators declared, quote, "We have supported the capacity building process and are disappointed that some in Kiev appear to have cast aside these democratic principles to avoid the ire of President Trump." Well, sounds like Kiev's pretty friendly with President Trump. I don't know. Before demands Lutsenko reverse course and halt any efforts to impede cooperation with this important investigation. So the senators are wanted the Ukrainians to do what? What do they want them to do? They wanted them to investigate the president, but they didn't want the president to have them investigate Biden, who bragged about what he did. Good morning, Johnny Hellcat and Longfish 61. Late? No, Johnny, is it your birthday? Did I hear it's your birthday today? Well, I'll let you answer. The Democrats' letter is available online. So they So the Democrats demanded that the Democrats demanded that the Ukraine investigate Trump, but then Trump asked about the Ukraine investigating something that they know Joe Biden did. Oh, this is just it every day. It gets more. It's curiouser and curiouser. How's that sound? Curiouser and curiouser. All right, let's see what else I got here. Oh, this is who's this? Burisma clearly paid Biden to sell influence, says CNN contributor. Oh. Ooh, now that's interesting. This is from the Washington Free Beacon. Joe Biden's family ties to an influence peddling scheme at a Ukrainian gas company could hurt the former vice president's 2020 campaign, political scientist Ian Bremmer told CNN on Tuesday. Biden does have Joe Biden, that is, does have a problem here. I'd have to say, well, they say 50,000 a month, but apparently it's 83,000 a month for Hunter Biden clearly to be selling influence, because otherwise no one would ever pay him that kind of money for a company that frankly was pretty corrupt and has been before and has been since under investigation, Bremer said. Bremer is president of Eurasia Group and Time magazine editor-at-large. He told CNN New Day Hunter Biden was named to the board of Burisma, Ukraine's largest private gas company, for his ability to sell influence during the Obama administration. Cynical Lindsay, and please remind me when your birthday comes around. I will happily acknowledge your birthday, my dear. Hunter Biden is, everyone knows he's a son. Anyway, let's just listen to this.
Biden does have a problem here, by the way. I mean, I have to say, $50,000 a month for Hunter Biden.
$83,000 a month.
Clearly to be selling influence, because otherwise no one would ever pay him that kind of money for a company that frankly was pretty corrupt and has been before and has been since under
And is that Joe Biden's fault or problem?
Now listen, it's hilarious how, of course, Allison is going to stand for Joe Biden. Is that Joe Biden's problem? Is that his fault? Let's see. I don't know. If it were, let's say if Donald Trump Jr. suddenly, out of nowhere, no experience in that particular type of business, if Donald Trump Jr. suddenly became a member of the board of directors of a Russian or even Ukrainian private oil company, out of the blue, would anyone on the left complain? Would they be like, he's probably pretty smart and he can be part of he can be on the board of directors. How much they pay him? $50,000 a month. That's no big deal. Wow. Whoa. Hey, hold on. Yeah, right now, while the president is the president, that happened. So let's see. When Joe Biden was vice president of the United States, probably has some influence, and granted, Obama's kids weren't old enough to be on the board of directors of anything. So while Joe Biden is the vice president of the United States, next best thing, suddenly his son gets on the board of directors of a company in which he has no experience whatsoever. I wonder what Burisma's. They got to find out what kind of business Burisma is doing. Perhaps, maybe with the United States, or wait a minute, because there was a different president at the time too. So interesting, very interesting. Is that? Listen to Allison again. This is hilarious.
And is that Joe Biden's fault or problem?
Is that his fault?
No, but it's hard to imagine Joe Biden wasn't aware of it. And I think that I expect that President Obama, if he had known about the reality of this situation, would have probably told Biden, get rid of this. like, we shouldn't have your son working in this situation. That would have cost him.
Now, it's fascinating. Okay, so yeah, they're trying to claim, oh, Joe Biden didn't know. He had no idea. Oh yeah, no, he and his son never talked about anything. They don't even talk on the phone. Yeah, hey, Dad, they're not. Don't look, because nobody's gonna be hiring me for their board of directors. Make sure you look away, because you don't want to know this. Oh, but wait a minute, and then just coincidentally, Joe's decided that he's going to pressure them to fire the prosecutor that's investigating the company that his son works for. Yeah, never crossed his mind, because he didn't know. Of course, Hunter's a good boy.
And I fear, like, even if maybe Biden wasn't aware, but Biden should have been aware that would cause an issue for him.
Well, yeah, and it caused an issue, and it ended up being, what did happen there? It caused an issue, and then he had to kind of intervene, and with the company that his son was on the board of directors for, being investigated by the Ukrainian government. And threatened, and not only pressured them, but threatened to withhold guaranteed loans for $1 billion with a B dollars. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Nothing at all. That's just some everyday shit, right? What happened to my music? What the hell happened to my music? Did I never turn it on? Ah, yeah. Whew. Now I feel better. There was something missing in my heart as I was speaking. I'm like, where's my music? Do y'all feel a little better now? I do. All right. We got to have some funk, right? All right. So what else do I got? I should probably get into Twitter trends, because it's about that time. Were there any? Oh, this is interesting too. I got to do this one, because y'all are familiar with Michael Flynn, right? Michael Flynn, the National Security Advisor who never became the National Security Advisor. What the fuck's going on with this? Hang on. Oh, did I just swear again? Well, in a shock decision, judge reverses conviction of Michael Flynn's lobbying partner. Interesting. In a surprise move Tuesday, a federal judge in Virginia acquitted Bijan Rafikayan, or whatever, a former business partner of Michael Flynn, who was convicted in July in a case spun off from the special counsel's investigation. Rafikayan, who served as vice chairman of Flynn Intel Group, was convicted July 23rd of illegally lobbying on behalf of the Turkish government and conspiring to violate the Foreign Agents Registration Act, which is FARA. But Judge Anthony Trenga reversed the jury decision in a 39-page ruling, saying the government's evidence against Rafikayan was insufficient as a matter of law to justify conviction on either count. He also ruled that Rafikayan would face a new trial if the government successfully appeals the acquittal. The decision is the latest in a series of setbacks against the Justice Department in cases spun off from the special counsel's probe. A jury in Washington, D.C. acquitted former White House counsel Greg Craig in August on charge that he acted as an unregistered agent of Ukraine on a project involving former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Both Rafikayan and Craig cases stemmed from investigations that began with the special counsel. In August 2016, Turkish businessman Ekrem Altekin hired Flynn Intel Group, or FIG, through a shell company he registered in the Netherlands. The two sides signed a $600,000 contract to investigate Fethullah Gulen, a Turkish cleric living in exile in the U.S. And for some reason, my computer just froze. Am I still with you guys? Okay. Oh, shoot. Had a little error there. Okay. Looks like it's working now. Not really. I'm frozen. Can y'all hear? Well, let me know if you can hear me. I see everything's freezing, and I'm having all kinds of problems. Oh, you know what? I bet it's because of the music. I'm going to turn the music off. Sorry, guys. Let's try this real quick. All right. I just got too much stuff going on, and let's just have a better stream. Is that working now? We'll see in a second. Or am I completely frozen still? Are we back? Okay, it's going to be a minute. I won't be able to see this for a second. All right, so anyway, Trenga indicated that Rifkin trial. See you later, Irish Rose. Glad you're here. Found the government's evidence lacking. At one point, he considered tossing the case, but decided to allow it to go forward. There are very substantial issues as to the sufficiency of the evidence, Trenga said at trial July 18th. It's all very, very circumstantial. Much of it's speculative. So this is telling me how thin a lot of the stuff that the special counsel was doing actually was. And I got a feeling you're going to see Michael Flynn is going to be... I got a feeling that his whole thing might go away soon. I feel like there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff going away. All right, let's get into Twitter trends. I have a whole bunch. I have way too many articles out today, so and I don't have time for them, unfortunately. So we're going to move on. By the way, another quick thank you. Oh, that's something completely different. And anyway, let's get into Twitter trends because boy, oh boy. I think it's going to get heated today. I think there's going to be some egg on some faces. Now, oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the thing. Something about that call that I really didn't mention either as I'm reading that. Apparently... It seems like it's going to be in the Twitter trends I noticed already. It seems like they were kind of working on an investigation on Biden anyway. He said they're going to get it with William Barr and Giuliani. I don't know. Anyway. So obviously trending number one, as it does on almost every other Thursday. Trump impeachment's trending number one. Oh, and here's the Twitter moment. President Trump urged Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden, according to a transcript released by the White House. Well, we kind of already knew that, right? Is there something wrong with that? I'm curious. Matt Gaetz, my hope is the investigation into the corrupt origins of the efforts to smear Donald Trump will heal some of the wounds inflicted on this body by the speaker yesterday. Maybe next time the radical left will wait for the facts before engaging in a fact-free Trump impeachment. Now that's interesting because this is funny because Castro's calling the smoking gun. Donald Trump pressured former government to work with his Justice Department to investigate a political opponent. Did the political opponent do something illegal? Maybe we should find that out first. Congress should cancel a recess and begin impeachment proceedings immediately. And swing left. Trump felt comfortable asking Ukraine for your illegal 2020 election help because William Barr's Justice Department told him it was fine. Really? There's something missing. There's something missing there. Is there some corruption by the vice president? Oh my gosh. Trump Infinito. How will MAGA Emperor ever recover from this? You know what? It's funny. The different reactions. My boss asked if I was a registered voter. I told him absolutely I was. He said, great, another vote for Mr. Trump. I laughed at his face and offered him a mint. Okay. So it's kind of humorous. Now this is again, and now here's the funny part about this. They're calling it some people, Dean Obadiah, who's, he's that one of those haters, he's calling this as akin to Richard Nixon's smoking gun transcript released that led to Nixon being forced to resign. Trump raises to what? Ukrainian president that he wants him to investigate Joe Biden and his son. This was 100% about the 2020 campaign to help Trump personally. Really? Really? I don't. Let's talk about what he wants him to investigate. That's funny. I'm actually fascinated by this. Kieran Davis, that's not a transcript. It's a memo. It's not a transcript. It's a memo. It's not a transcript. Okay, what? No. Well, it's how the. Not only was Rudy Giuliani brought in, but the Department of Justice, AG Barr, exactly the crime we were concerned about. What crime? There's no crime. Holy shit. This is insanity. Now, the transcripts of the Trump call with Ukrainian president are out, and not only does Trump pressure him to investigate Biden through his son, he implicates Rudy Giuliani and William Barr in assisting him with it all. This is hilarious. Did he? Oh my God. You know what? Here's the problem. Now, these people are saying this is the centerpiece of his impeachment. Kind of like the question, they say the Russians interfered with your ads or whatever. What's the quantitative? What was the quantitative? What's the word? What is the results? What are the quantitative results, right? How about what did he want investigated? There was something very specific he was talking about. It wasn't like, oh, let's just randomly investigate him. There was a very specific thing Trump was speaking about when he was talking to President Zelensky that needed to be investigated. Wouldn't that be Biden pressuring Ukraine to fire a prosecutor that was investigating his son's company? Anyone? Does anyone see that? I know I'm speaking to a choir here, but wow. Unbelievable. They see this as, he's investigating a political opponent. Investigating a political opponent who did some shady shit and admitted it, bragged about it. Trending number 2, Ukraine transcript. Everyone's going to be talking about this day. Read through the Ukraine transcript. I had forgotten about the economic challenges we faced in the U.S. this summer. Okay, this is that's a fake transcript. Why don't every Dem just change their middle name to recuse? LOL. No way in hell the Justice Department AG William Barr should step away from the Democrats' total bullshit clown shows. Absolutely not. Okay, I don't know what that means. The president dragged the attorney general into this mess. At a minimum, AG Barr must recuse himself until we get to the bottom of this matter. Oh my God, that is an interesting play. That's an interesting play. Breaking news: the White House released a transcript. President Trump called leader of Ukraine. The transcript shows Trump urged Ukraine's leader to contact Attorney General William Barr about opening an inquiry tied to Joe Biden. Okay. Seems like some little corruption from Joe Biden, but it's funny that it just depends on who you're reading it from. The Democrats in the media reading the Ukraine transcript. I've taken a more controversial phone calls with my grandmother. And that's swing left. Kamala Harris, has the president or anyone in the White House ever suggest you open an investigation into anyone? Barr, seems like something you should be able to answer. I don't know. Well, when was that? That's May 1st. This call took place in July, didn't it? So maybe it was later. And maybe it was later when he found out about this Biden's double dealings. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. This is gonna be fun to watch. I mean, if you're a political geek, this is gonna be fun. Hilarious. I don't know what you're crowing about with this Ukraine transcript, Chris Hayes. Chris Hayes already very helpfully told us before it came out that we can't trust the transcript because bad orange man. If it's damning, it's damning. If it's not damning, it's still damning. Got it? Not sure what's more shocking. That Donald Trump was explicit about his corrupt intent in this call, and that he and his henchmen thought it was exculpatory. Well, now notice that is some shifting goalpost stuff right there, because they said he was pressuring Ukraine and threatening some aid or something like that. Did any of you get that from that phone call we read? I didn't. Wow. Incriminating. You people, it's this. Oh my God, you people are nuts. You got to be kidding me. Now we know why the Justice Department fought so hard to keep the Ukraine transcript from the American people. No, they didn't. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's the subject matter? What's the subject matter of what they talked about? The subject matter. This is not good for Joe Biden. I don't think they get it. It's not good for Joe Biden. And pressed him. Oh my God. It's funny. It depends on who you read. You read the left, and they're like, impeachment time! It's impeachment time! And then you read the people who read, I don't know how this is going to play. Interesting. Barr's trending number 3 for the same reason. Wednesday wisdom. I need some wisdom right now. Here we go. Fun fact. Democrats have tried to impeach every Republican president since Eisenhower. Only 2 presidents ever to be impeached were, you guessed it, Democrats. Well, Nixon resigned. Come on, that's not fair. But yeah, that's funny. They have tried to impeach every president since Eisenhower. Wait, did they try to impeach Gerald Ford? I don't think they did. I know they were talking about doing it with Reagan. They did. They talked about it with both Bushes, even though they never tried. They had no chance of that. But okay, yeah, and haters are just cute reminders that you're the shit. No politician, and then and then he said, no politician in history has been treated more unfairly than him. Girl, stop! I can't. Okay, that's cute. That's as close to the left doing a meme that's possible, and I get it. And you probably think that's funny if it's the left. Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! I'm just saying. Let's see. All right. Next trending. Lincoln's trending. Oh, why is let's see. What is it? President Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, Kennedy, and Reagan were shot while in office. Oh, I see. So yeah, he tweeted apparently there's been no president in the history of our country who's been treated so badly as I have. Trump tweeted, Democrats are frozen with hatred and fear. And so everyone's mentioning Lincoln and Kennedy, people who were assassinated. Yeah, they were assassinated by assholes who weren't in the government. Although I think you could say that any president has been treated badly by the opposition. But whatever. in office by the government that they're working with, supposedly. Zelensky's trending one-hit wonder. Oh, one-hit wonder day. One-hit wonders. Let's see what they got for one-hit. I have a bunch of them. Is it, what are they called? Delight? Groove is in the Heart? What's the best one-hit wonder? These fleeting musicians made impact with their one-hit wonders. Groove is in the Heart. Oh, Baja Man, Who Let the Dogs Out. There's one. Oh! What's this dude's name? The guy who did Informer. He was kind of a... the hell's his name? He's a Canadian, like, he's basically the Canadian Vanilla Ice. Informer. I say, give a bum now. Something like that. No one knows that. No one knows what the hell he said. Goity. Okay. Oh! Tony Basil. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Okay. Dexy's Midnight Runners. Come on, Eileen. Wait, Blind Melon only had one hit? Snow. Thank you. Snow. I just think of him as, I just call him the Canadian Vanilla Ice. Blind Melon, No Rain. I thought they had another hit though. Oh, what are these guys called? I'm too sexy for my shirt. Right said Fred. Okay, there's a bunch of them. Return of the Mac. I can't remember who did that one too. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of really good one-hit wonders. Steal My Sunshine. Didn't they? I thought they... oh, no, that's a different one. Anyway, we'll get away from that because I'm out of time here. Let's go. Oh, Rockwell. I'm always feel like somebody's watching me. And there ain't no fantasy. Or whatever. Okay, Bill Barr. What are your thoughts? Crowd strikes trending. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be wondering about the CrowdStrike part. Here's Ben Rorschach. Let's look at the Ben Shapiro thread on all this. Having read the transcript, thoughts on the Trump-Zelensky call. The interpretation will be a complete Rorschach test. If you see Trump as a calculating gangster, this reads like a veiled quid pro quo. He opens by mentioning aid, then immediately swivels to talk about CrowdStrike. That's the one that people are going to be wondering about. CrowdStrike. What does CrowdStrike have to do anything? CrowdStrike's about to get some attention. That's a good thing. I think more people need to know about CrowdStrike. Biden and Giuliani. Meanwhile, if you see Trump as a fragmentary thinker and generalized blurter of things, this reads like a list of unrelated thoughts floating through his brain. Oh no. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. Yes, Rockwell, Barry Gordy's son. Zelensky opens the conversation by bringing up draining the swamp. He introduces the corruption idea, which suggests he's been informed by his people that of concerns in Trump world over corruption in Ukraine. A lot has been made of Trump shifting rationale on the Ukraine aid. The truth is, Trump has more than one rationale. He explicitly talks about the lack of European aid to Ukraine. For example, all they do is talk. I think it's something you should really ask them about corruption, which was obviously top of mind. So he's not lying about that. Trump opens his favor request by asking about CrowdStrike, the firm involved in the hack of the DNC emails. Only then does he move on to other topics prompted by Zelensky, who first brings up the Ukrainian ambassador to the United States and who first brings up Rudy Giuliani. We're hoping very much Mr. Giuliani will be able to travel to Ukraine, and we will meet him once he comes to Ukraine. These topics are originally raised by Zelensky, raising the question of whether Zelensky was actually attempting to create a quid pro quo rather than Trump. This also explains why Zelensky, who has watched Trump conduct foreign policy for 2 years, mentions staying at Trump Tower. He's trying to butter Trump up. Trump finally shifts into the Biden ask. A lot of people are talking about that. The way they shut your very good prosecutor down and you had some very bad people involved. The other thing, there's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution. Well, he did. And for $1 billion in $1 billion loan guarantee. Also known as a quid pro quo. So is this him conditioning aid? That's utterly unclear from the transcript itself. It's bad behavior, of course, ugly and inappropriate. If you're inclined to think of the whole conversation as a negotiation over aid, that is damning. If, however, you're inclined to believe that Trump is just bringing up topics with Zelensky in his typical haphazard fashion, there's no quid pro quo bringing up Biden. Bottom line, this is the beginning of the inquiry, not the end. The call itself is not itself a smoking gun. It does raise questions as to what other conversations were had, and the rationale for holding back aid is the chief question when it comes to quid pro quo. The only truly impeachable offense here, but do we know that Biden had a quid pro quo? He bragged about it. Bragged about it. Bragged. He bragged. He bragged about it on tape. Hey, anyone know if any of you have a link to him bragging that whole thing? Because I only had the truncated clip. The bigger clip of him bragging to the Council on Foreign Relations. If you do, put it in the chat. I'll play it before I leave. All right, let's get back to trends. So that's why CrowdStrike. McKinley, I think he's one of the presidents who got shot. Yeah, the people who were assassinated. Assassinated is not being treated badly by Congress, people. That's what Trump was talking about. Yes, some presidents were assassinated. I don't think that's what he meant by that. Thank you. Not that, but I guarantee you there are other presidents that were treated poorly by their opposition in Congress. That's not whatever. Linda Berry trending. MacArthur Foundation announces the 26 winners of its Genius Grant. And Linda Berry is trending because of that? Let me guess. She's one of... Check out the winners of the newest MacArthur Fellowships. Good lad.
Restorative justice.
What the?
I'm a philosopher.
A philosopher. Great. Oh, attorney and restorative justice practitioner. Restorative justice. What the fuck is restorative justice?
Attorney and a restorative justice practitioner.
Okay.
Cartoonist, a writer, and a teacher.
Graphic novelist, writer, and a teacher. Oh, and Mil Chin, an artist.
Privacy academic and civil rights advocate.
Oh, privacy academic and civil rights okay.
I work on criminal justice
reform.
Theater director.
Paleoclimatologist.
I'm an artist.
I'm interested in creating music that isn't limited or defined by...
What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? I'm an artist who believes in that music shouldn't be limited or defined. It means your music sucks. You probably sound like Yoko Ono. Okay, I'm just being smartass. She probably is a great musician.
genre.
I'm a writer and a cultural historian.
I make landscapes and public sculptures.
I'm a marine biologist.
I'm a plant geneticist.
I study the past to help us understand the present and to reimagine our futures.
I am a writer,
A choreographer.
Literary scholar.
I'm a neuroscientist.
Okay.
What we do is neighborhood development.
Neuroscientist.
Cognitive scientist.
evolutionary anthropologist and biologist,
Poet and writer.
I am a classicist and translator.
Okay, good. There's the whatever the MacArthur Fellowships are. That's why Linda Berry's trending. She's one of them. Okay, memo. And some people are calling it a memo. Whatever. Ukrainian president, javelins. That's all. This has to do with the whatchamacallit, the transcript. But Juul CEO, Juul, the maker of vaping products, has stepped down. The CEO stepped down. The Juul CEO is stepping down and being replaced by an executive from the tobacco company Altria. Okay, Juul is shutting down broadcast, print, digital advertising, and ending lobbying efforts on behalf of the e-cigarettes in Washington as the safety concern intensifies. Yeah, this thing is, it's amazing. I've never understood from the beginning the opposition to the e-cigarette. I think vaping's personally not for me, but I don't care if people vape. I think the problem is, so these deaths that have been occurring, the 6 deaths after 10 years of seeing this shit around. Now, they were because of products that were not made by the actual vaping companies that had ingredients that, when turned into vapor, kill you. But this whole thing just suddenly, out of 6 deaths, they're gonna ban this stuff. Man, that's pretty quick. They haven't even banned cigarettes yet. So I don't know. I think they're a product that help people stop smoking, and I think maybe some non-nicotine versions of this could help people. But man, it's nuts. But anyway, on that note, I gotta call it a day, people. Guess what? We are here Monday through Friday, though. I'll be back tomorrow, Thursday the 26th, and it is FTG Thursday. So if you have any FTG nominations, I've got several already. Just looking through some of Twitters, and you didn't even get to the conversations I had about our friend Greta. Greta has become the perfect human shield, and again, I'm going to remind you, when I talk about Greta, I have no problem with Greta herself. Although I think the people who've propped her up and allowed her to be the self-righteous young child that she is, although she's 16 years old, I mean, she has a brain of her own, but unfortunately, she's been brainwashed with panic rhetoric. And I've just refused to panic about climate change. I don't think anyone should be panicking. Should we? Let me not get into this, because you know what? I'll just be called. Someone will just label me a climate denier, which I'm not. Climate has been happening ever since the Earth has existed. But anyway, I got to call it a day. Thank you so much for y'all being here. If you haven't done so, on the way out, make sure you write down there. Hit that like thing about somewhere over there, and if you're watching this after the fact, share it out. If you are so inclined, on some days you can do super chats and donations through the Streamlabs link down below. And thanks for being here. Be sure to follow me on Twitter if you haven't already at Dawg Knight, pdogknight@gmail.com if you want to email me nominations for FTG Thursday, or you can do that through DMs on Twitter, because my DMs. All I got to do is click that little. You send me a DM, and if I'm not following you, I click a little button, and it goes, "Oh yeah, you can see that," and then we fix that right away. So, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I gotta go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Fool for you. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.